Hi, I'm Jackie,
And I'm Seth.
and this is Never TMI,
We talk about real things.
and nothing is ever off limits. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We have a topic for you guys today that we're excited about. That's kind of a little, I don't know. We're going to kind of
It's
wing
real.
it. Yeah, it's very real. It's definitely something that we've walked through many times and continue to, and I'm sure so many of you guys do as well. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and we're currently walking in it now. I think as we go into, or as we approach a new year,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that
For everyone, I'm sure.
a lot of people, I'm sure, think about, which is, for us, I guess we could title the message something along the lines of supporting your spouse in a weight loss journey.
Or even like a health journey, not even weight
Yeah,
loss. I would say health
A health journey is probably
journey.
a better word.
Only because, people have so many different goals. Some people are trying to
Yeah.
bulk up. Some people are trying to build a booty. Some people are trying to lose weight, lose baby weight, all that kind of stuff. So, or just stay healthy. Like I am obviously pregnant right now. So my goal is obviously not weight loss, but it definitely I feel like I'm kind of scarred from the last pregnancy just because I kind of did whatever I wanted to and ended up really regretting it. At the end of it, I just felt like a 95-year-old when I would try to get off the floor, or my body just felt so broken. And I just didn't take care of it, like health-wise, food-wise, anything. So we're kind of just going to talk to you about where we're at, what each other's kind of doing.
Yep.
And
kind of how we can
approach
help
it.
each other
Yeah.
going forward. And I guess I heard something recently, a lot of times, at least we have always set our goals for, January 1st, the start of the new year. You want to, start it off on a good foot. But I've been challenged recently to, with the concept that like a new year is just, it's another day essentially. So like for you to start living your best life, why not make it today?
Yeah.
And so we've been kind of playing with diet and exercise, like trying to establish what that routine is going to be even now in December, so that we're prepared. And I feel like we've taken some practice runs.
I know.
And have fallen off the train several times already, but just kind of gearing up so that come January 1st, we're in, I guess, feeling a little bit ahead of the 8 ball when time is a little irrelevant. But all that to say, why not start right now, living your best life from a health standpoint?
Yeah.
And so
I think too, it's like you can look at it like start, stop, you fail, you start, you fail. But
right.
I don't think, I definitely don't. I don't think we look at it in that way. Like I can look at Seth and even myself, like we've come so far just from, it's not even just about like how our body necessarily looks, but like little things like my skin, like that, like getting that figured out because my skin was so bad. And I'm sure a lot of it had to do with like food, quality of food. We've lately been looking into like, we literally live in the most like real food accessible place. We're in Dallas, Texas. Like of all people, we can find some meat and some dairy that's like from a farm. And so we've been looking into that lately, just like quality of food. So I feel like we've come far, even though we'll say, okay, I'm going to try to give up this or just eat really healthy. And obviously sometimes it doesn't happen. But like at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm proud of how far we've come and I know where we're going. And so.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a big part of it too, is whatever your health journey is, you have to set a course, and you have
Yeah.
to have a goal, or goals. I think definitely can help you get to where you're going. But even beyond that, something we were kind of talking about is you really have to have a strong why.
Mhm.
Like, why do I want to pursue being healthy?
Yeah.
And through our own experience, if your why isn't big enough, or it's not meaningful enough to you,
Mhm.
then it's really a struggle just to will yourself to good health, unless you just have impeccable discipline.
Yeah.
And I think the older that we get, and just as life changes, with kids, and your schedule's
Yeah.
not always concrete, and maybe for some of you that is, but it's just without a strong why, it's really hard to stick to those things. And I think I went through a season where I couldn't even find a why
Mm.
that was meaningful enough for me to work out, and I
Yeah.
I still struggle with it.
Mhm.
But I think as I get older, and as our family continues to grow, because I was having a conversation with someone, I remember calling Adam
Mhm.
about this, and
Adam is our family friend, and he is just wonderful. Him and his wife are incredible. I did a gap year program when I graduated high school at a place called Link Year, which it was just a big blessing. And anyway, he runs Link Year, and we had gone to Missouri, and so that was the first time Seth got to meet him, which was really special. But he's very like, I mean, he is unbelievably inspiring when it comes to like health and
yeah,
fitness, especially. Like, it's a priority in his life. And he's always said that, like, you know, when you're disciplined in one area, you'll be disciplined in the rest. Like, it's just a trickle effect. So Seth ended up getting to talk to him.
yeah, and he was a great resource for that topic. But he said something to me that I don't think I'll ever forget. We were talking, and he's like, what is your why? And I was like, I couldn't really answer the question. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, you have, at the time we had two, he's like, you have two young, beautiful daughters. You have a beautiful wife. Like, is your family is motivation for you to be healthy. Is that not a big enough why for you?
Mm.
And
It's like a
in the
slap in the face.
well,
You're like,
in
it
the
is, sir.
moment, I was like, oh yeah, like, great point. But then I remember I came back to Jackie, and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but you guys still don't motivate me enough to
Yep.
work out. And I was like, it's not like I feel like it should be, but for some
Yeah, I
reason
remember
it's
that.
not.
And yeah. And
And
I think part of that's just your personality too. Like, to me, I'm like,
but
it's enough. That should be good enough. But for him, it was like, no, I need more.
but what I've learned from that is, like, I was still in good enough shape to do the things that I needed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like to love and to serve my family in that season. But as I continue to get older, and as our daughters continue to
Yep.
get older,
Yep.
I'm starting to see down the road, if I don't be
Mm-hmm.
proactive in this area, there's going to be a point where it catches up to me, and then
Yep.
surpasses me. And now, you know, like, I don't want to wait to that point to then realize, oh, I'm not in shape. I can't
Yep.
go out and run with my girls or play with them on the playground.
Yep.
Like, and so it wasn't like an instantaneous light switch moment of just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's it, and I need to kick it
Yeah.
in gear. But I think just over, and that was probably a year ago now, a
Yeah.
couple years ago. But as I continue to think about that moment, and realize just that there is going to be a point where those offset.
And yeah, like, I think essentially your why is like, doesn't really have much to do with right now, because it's like, yeah, I'm good, but I feel like it has everything to do with like the future, and then the family you
Mhm.
want to have, and Also setting an example for our kids and for us to be active grandparents and
Right. It's
like
not
how do we
always
want our
just
bodies to feel when we're older, like that kind of stuff. So there will always be a why, you just have to find it.
mhm.
Um
And that obviously, and your why changes, because I
yeah,
remember
absolutely.
in college, my why was for football. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to be the best football player that I could be, so
Mhm.
for me to compete,
Yeah.
I had to stay in shape. And I'm sure at some point became about looks. My
Mhm.
why is I just want to look good. But,
Mhm.
having something and whatever it is for you, like
Yeah.
really, really challenging yourself on your why and
Yeah.
why is it important and why is it worth it for you to live a healthy lifestyle. I think that's where
Yeah.
we have to start. Um,
I think yeah, I think last obviously I'm in my first trimester right now and I I keep telling Seth like we're coming to a close, like probably like another week or two at the most. Like, can I get away with eating how I'm eating right now? But I I would say my pregnancy, like Kennedy, I was how old was I? Like 25, 26. I think I was 26 when I like gave birth to her. So maybe I was 25. Yeah, when I got pregnant. So I think physically, obviously at the time, like I didn't feel like I was in great shape and all that kind of stuff, but I can look back just even at pictures and be like, oh, I was in better shape than I was right now or than I am right now. So I kind of got by with that one just because like I could afford to gain some weight. Like it was the first baby I ever had. Like we had moved from California. Like I was just in better shape. But Evan, like I didn't, after having Kennedy, I didn't really lose much. Um, and then getting pregnant and having like experiencing a pregnancy that like where my body was not very healthy, like from the inside out, and not even just weight wise, but like just health wise. Like I did not eat well. I didn't eat foods that would like fuel me or energize me. Like, so I think experiencing that, I'm so much more motivated this pregnancy to like take care of myself and to do something physical every single day and to eat cleaner and like really sacrifice like, you know, certain foods at certain times or like maybe instead of eating whatever I want every single day, having like a day that we can go get some pizza or whatever. We're not about like just super extreme crazy measures. I would say we're not there.
yeah, it's got to be
We don't need to be. It
a
has to be
lifestyle.
yeah, realistic and like something we could do forever. Like that's kind of how we look at it, but like I mean that like he said, like your why can change and right now that is my why. It's like I don't want to experience that again because it was so much like there was no bouncing back to anything. It was just like my body was where it was at and it was comfortable. But it felt horrible. So we're both in different seasons. Especially like pregnancy wise and all that kind of stuff. Him and I are in such different seasons, but the way we can like support each other um is somewhat similar. And I think for Seth, like I don't know. You're very inspiring. Like he's like stretching 3 times a day anytime that he can and like eating so dang clean. So like obviously I'm not there right now, but like I think both having an awareness of what each other's goals are is huge. Like I need to in order to support you and to encourage you and to pray for you and all that kind of stuff, like help you in whatever way that I can. I need to know like what's your goal and then also be like a source of accountability. Um so knowing like and he's incredibly disciplined. Like that I feel like I don't know. Like he kind of does it on his own. Like I don't remember the last time that I've had to like remind him to stay on track because that's just who he is. But like for me, there will absolutely come a time again in like a week or two where he's going to be like, I know you want to go to In-N-Out, but it's probably not going to be the best idea. So I think being aware of each other's goals and being aware of each other's why is really important in order to like successfully keep each other accountable in a loving and helpful way. Because like who else is going to, you know?
Yeah. I think a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even like you mentioned, we're on different pages.
Yeah.
We're in different seasons. You know, Jackie's basically hibernating for 2 right now, and I feel like I'm trying to lose weight, and so, but part of it is knowing that, you know, in 7-8 months, like Jackie's gonna get to a point where she's just immobile and.
Oh my gosh, you make me sound like a beached
No,
whale.
I'm not. But
I know.
coming
It's
to
rough.
pregnancy,
That end is
like
tough.
knowing that it's getting harder for her, and I need to put myself in a position to carry more of the weight of the family in terms of activity and you know, moving things like getting the girls up, getting them ready, getting out, you know, loading up the car, like. You know, that's part of my why as well, is like knowing. I think it's always good to know the season that you're in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just 2
Yeah.
cents to that.
I think cooking too, like me knowing, I don't know, even down to the food that we buy. It's like, you know, having certain foods in our home that are obviously going to be fine. And I'll always, at least lately, will ask like to get like a treat or something sweet just for the evening or something like that. But like keeping foods in our house and really trying not to eat out, and which we've not been doing a good job of lately, strictly because of me. But knowing that like Seth has these goals, which like, I don't know, like if I can align with him with those goals, even though they're not necessarily my goals too. Like I'm not trying to lose weight right now, but the ultimate end goal is health. And so it's like, okay, he is trying to be really strict and not eat certain foods and just really expedite the process of getting to where he wants to be physically while also making it a lifestyle. I can help and do my part in that by, you know, cooking meals that are going to be like conducive to that, or like that's a way that I can be supportive as badly as I would want to make like cookies and make it so special and fun and holidays and treats and all this. It's like at the end of the day, I know that's not really gonna help us reach our goals. So like as I need to put aside like my desire for festivity and like look how warm and cozy and fuzzy and special and hot chocolate and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, this is a season of like sowing into our health. And obviously his flesh might want that hot chocolate and cookies and all that kind of stuff. But that's a way. What did you say?
When we watched the Santa Claus last night.
Oh my gosh.
And in the sleigh, when they make the hot chocolate and the cookie pops out.
Oh my gosh.
Like nothing.
It literally always looks
so
good. So good. I know. But yeah, like little things like that where I feel like I haven't really been cooking at all because I haven't felt great. And the evenings are like my witching time. But soon it's like, okay, meals might not be so exciting, but they're going to be clean. And
I think you should talk about that too, of how for you, you know, for Jackie, it's always been food is related to experience. So if there's
100%.
like, and you can probably elaborate more.
Like
just,
the movie theaters.
Yeah, that's a great
or
example.
Theater. Like I was actually just talking to my sister about this when I took Kennedy Ballet yesterday. My sister Jill. she can't eat so many things. Just she has Hashimoto's and a couple other things that keep her from being able to eat certain things. It's been like 5 years. So like besides like gluten and dairy, there's certain things like corn or soy or whatever. So she can't have a lot of things. She's very restricted. And we were just like, she's like, what I would do for a pretzel and like cheese or whatever. And it's crazy because that's a perfect example of like a why. Like her why is so serious, and like her why is like, I will not be able to be like the mom I want to be, and I will be bedridden if I eat these things and not feel good and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'm, no one's holding me at gunpoint, but I'm going to follow this, I'm going to stay away from things I need to stay away from. So just interesting because it's like she literally hasn't eaten certain, like she has not had a pretzel and nacho cheese in over 5 years. And she used to have that stuff all the time and it'd be fine. So yeah, but anyway, we were talking about that and I was just like, food is like, I associate it, going to the movie theater. Like it takes so much of the fun out of it and the like richness of the experience for me out of it. If I cannot have my blue icy, my pretzel and my popcorn with M&Ms, like since I was younger, and I think it's just because like, I don't know, I think our family somewhat operated that way as well. Like growing up, we would we never went to the theater without standing in line first and getting food. Like it was just the way that we did it. So it's so.
We were such the opposite. Like we would
I know.
never. I don't remember ever getting popcorn or anything in a movie. Like
I think we went to I think I went to the movies with his family one time in Indiana, and I was like, "Are we not gonna, what are we doing, guys? We're just going straight in there, or yes?" In. I'm like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, it's hard. Like that is an area that Seth really, because it will. I don't know. I'm just an experienced person, and food has so much to do with that. Like, but it can be such a detriment too, because it's like.
So yeah, what have you learned from that then?
I mean, I'm still I'm still in the thick of it. Like, it's just, I think I am absolutely learning like America and just life in general. Like, but food wise, like it's so easy to just end up like, I don't know. It's easy to go in the drive-through and get food like that you want. It's easy and super cheap to order some McDonald's on a random Tuesday because it's raining outside. It's easy to like go to the theater and just get whatever you want because it's just right there. And so I think I've learned that I have really poor discipline, number one. So like that is something, and it's not like something like that is just pinpointed in one area of my life. It's like if I have really poor discipline in my eating, I most likely have really poor discipline with meeting deadlines or working out or responding to things I need to respond to. Like it's just that's something that I've seen in my life that I've been like, okay, me and my sister did this. Like we were like, okay, every day we're going to do 25 squats, 25 push-ups. That maybe takes 3 minutes. And every single day it was like, I would literally get in bed and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do it. And it would pain me to get out of bed and do it just because it's like and it was, discipline is like a muscle that you have to work. So it was like something I really had to work on, but that just proved to me and showed me like, wow, you really need to work on this area. So like going to the theater and not getting popcorn or a Diet Coke, like getting some water or bringing my own like, Boom Chicka popcorn or like just a healthier, cleaner version of like that's not drenched in butter is fine too. But just like I think it's so important for us to rewire the things that we've either grown up with or the things that we just naturally do. It's like, question it, because this is not good for me. And also for my kids, it's like, no, we can go to, it's like Kennedy, we can go to Starbucks without getting a cake pop. Like, we can't associate Starbucks with cake pop every single time. Just like mommy can't go to Starbucks and get like a caramel frappuccino with extra whip and caramel drizzle on top. Sometimes we go to Starbucks and we get a cold brew with no sweetener. It's like, I think just like working that muscle is necessary, and it's just, we got to do it, otherwise it's not, I'm not going to be in a year. I'm going to regret it just like I did last year, so yeah.
I think that's another great point though, is I've seen too, just the habits that we have, like we are living examples for our kids. And so
and we're their closest example, like,
yeah, and that's what they grow up seeing day in and day out. So whatever we do, those are the things and the habits that, especially Kennedy and even Evan, I'm sure now, but they pick up on these things. And so we really, as parents, and anyone as a parent, you can have such an impact on setting the pace for your children's life. And
you do have such an impact, like whether you want it or not.
Right. And so what are the things that you want them to carry in value? And I know for us, one of those things is health, to be healthy, to eat healthy, to live a healthy lifestyle, to be active. And so, but if we're not doing those things,
it's going to be pretty hard for us to convince them to do it.
Right. And so that's been another big part of the why.
Yeah.
Even just as they get older, like I'm starting to see the ramifications of not having discipline in being healthy. So I think that's a big thing. I think also, from you were talking earlier about accountability from your spouse, and I think that's probably one of the biggest points for success, is you have to have an advocate in your corner. And I know, I mean, I'll be real with you. There's been times I'll say I want to do something, but I know Jackie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, I know her association with food and experience, and I can play Jackie I will ask her, hey, this is like a special occasion. Do you think I could cheat?
Yeah.
And she, not wanting to be the bad guy, will be like, yeah, like this is a special occasion, whatever. And it's like, I've found like a loophole in my system.
Yeah.
And so it really helps. And I know too, it's hard when we're in such different seasons, but like there's a point where sometimes it's like the tough love to say like, okay, you're telling me this is what you want, this is where you want to get, and I know that this isn't helping you get there, so I have to put my foot down and say no.
Yeah.
I think though, in addition to having your spouse's accountability, it's always good to have some other source of accountability that's even outside of the home, outside of your, close. Because Jackie and I can be real to each other, but we step out of the house and we can put on the front and make it seem like, so having someone else speak into your life or hold you accountable to say, like, hey, I have an accountability partner that one of the things I'm trying to do through Jackie's pregnancy is not drink. And that's been really hard for me. And
and what's your why behind that? Like,
my why behind it is to support Jackie. And I've tried to, this is our third.
Okay, also I literally.
This isn't something she's asked me to do.
I don't. I
won't, I got you.
No, I know. I like can't. Even my siblings are like, why? And you know what? That's fine. But like, I never would ask him to do that. It's definitely
something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've tried with Kennedy and I've tried with Evan.
And have failed miserably.
And I've failed miserably.
which is
I've
fine.
tried with this one now, and I will be honest, I have failed, but
No, you haven't.
I've
It was
failed,
because of me, because I literally sat you down and was like, you don't
but
have to do this. Like,
yes,
don't at the expense of like living your life. Like when it becomes unnecessary and like inconvenient, not inconvenient, unnecessary. It was like we went to Broken Bow and it's like, it's okay. Like have a drink, which I think you had a drink and
right, but and it's I'm saying this though for the sake that like
yeah.
I had told my accountability partner that I wasn't I'm trying not to drink for the duration of this pregnancy
Mm.
because and the reason, part of the other reason behind it is if we go to I don't know, a wedding and people are drinking but Jackie can't, I know that that's hard for her even though she knows that she can and her why is so strong. Like I have this baby that I'm, you know,
Yeah, it's like a natural, like it
yeah,
ain't
it's like
happening, which is okay. Like
right.
yeah,
But it's
it's
like I
fine.
want to, as her husband, I want to be with her in those situations. So that's
Which is
part of the
very
reason.
sweet.
And I'm trying to work on my own self discipline and self control.
Yeah, I think that
So
has
it's
to do with it too. It's not just like, oh, I
right.
just want to help you, because at the end of the
You
day,
would be
me
fine.
telling you like, oh, I'm good, you're like, okay, well, I
Right.
still need something. And I
Right.
think and I think it's so important every now and then just to like
But it just
work that muscle of
yes,
discipline.
absolutely. But it means more to me when I've told Jackie
Yeah.
and I've told someone else.
Hmm.
Like the more people that I tell what my goal is, and even I guess putting it out here, like whoever listens to this,
Right. If you see him with a beer somewhere, just
it's just like
call him
that
out.
adds to the credibility of your word. And so
Yeah.
like
And it
I
also helps you mentally. Like there are so many studies out there that say like if you tell someone you're running a marathon, like you're more likely to do it.
you know,
But I also think oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, accountability wise, like I absolutely agree to have someone outside of your um relationship, like not your partner, not your boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse or whatever, um, is very important. I think even just to have outside encouragement, um, especially for like a man, I would say there might be a gap. Like, I'm an emotional person. Like, there might be a gap in a way that I can encourage Seth compared to like a way that like his accountability partner can encourage him. And like his accountability partner will call him and say, hey, can you pray for me? Because I'm, you know, fasting or I'm doing this or that. And then Seth feels like a responsibility, and so I think to have someone outside of your spouse is important. And that's not just for like health and food, that's just in life. It's something we're very passionate about. It's like accountability, because your wife can't always be, and your husband can't always be at all. Like there's things that would just go over his head as a woman and all that kind of stuff that like my sisters can really help me on, or sometimes it's with him, sometimes, whatever. So yeah. Do you have any other thoughts or points when it comes to like, so it's pretty rambled, but I don't know, we just kind of wanted to wing it and tell you guys where we're at, because we're in it. Like we're definitely in it. Like we're, like Seth said, he's trying not to drink, he's eating clean. I'm about to head into a season in this pregnancy of like disciplining myself to work out and to eat clean and to whatever. So like we're definitely in the thick of it. So this definitely is not like here are 5 steps to whatever, because it's like we could use it too. But I'm sure so many of you guys are in the same boat and just kind of on the same journey. So hopefully this is like encouraging, if anything, to let you guys know that you're not walking or like navigating this alone, especially as we head into the new year. Like we can do it. We got this.
it'd be cool to get like feedback from people to hear like
Yeah.
what's worked for you or
Oh,
what are
totally.
things that you found to be successful. I always find that
Yeah,
interesting and beneficial. But
absolutely. We're
yeah,
very teachable.
like Jackie's saying though, this is just something that we're in the middle of and trying to figure out for ourselves. And
Yeah.
um, I think when it comes to health, though, I guess this would be my last thought. You know, we're definitely talking about our experience here, but for everyone else, like health is what is health? Like that sounds like such a philosophical question. So it's like very personal to you.
Yeah.
And some people value health on different levels.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all do. And so it's like our version of health might not be what you think is healthy, or one person might think it's healthy to work out 6 days a week, and another person might think it's healthy to work out once a week. Like, so really, not comparing yourself. And we were just talking about this comparison. And comparison can really derail you from where you're going. So, don't look at other people to compare yourself. Yes, other people can be motivating to you, but like having a sense of direction for yourself or your family. Like, where are you going? Where are we trying to go and get to? And whatever that looks like, taking a step in that direction starting today. Like that's kind of where we're at. And
we're literally, hopefully, potentially going to go to dinner tonight and like just talk about our goals, talk about our next year and like what we have in mind. So even doing something like that where you can like sit down with each other, sit on the couch together, grab your phone or your notebook and just like get on the same page when it comes to like, okay, what's your vision for this year? What does health look like to you in this year? And like just be aware of it for each other and like what each other's goals are and what they're going for. And I think that's even a wonderful place to start.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. Again, we just want to say thank you for those who've rated the podcast or
left a
comments.
review. We read literally all of them, and they're so special.
Yeah, you guys are very generous with your thoughts and words.
It means a lot.
But if you continue, or those who haven't, if you could like or rate the podcast, that really helps us gain visibility.
Yeah. And we appreciate it. It's such a blessing to like I don't know, it's like a point in our week that we get to just sit down and talk with you guys, and it's just really special. We love it. So thank you for being here and for choosing to spend whatever amount of time you choose to spend with us. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm Seth.
And I'm Jackie.
This is Never TMI, and we are signing off.
Peace out.